slightly breaking and subsiding. That's why I don't mind that it's getting cooler, because now my apartment doesn't feel like 33 degrees and I no longer have mushrooms. And mushrooms are not that they were hurting the aloe. They weren't. I checked it out, and like they don't hurt them. They're actually good for them because it means that your ecosystem is healthy.
So I was asking my brother like if I could eat those mushrooms. Yeah.
That's why I went and looked it up. So I was like, are those magical? Are they? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! But they're not. So wonder. You just hear rent free.
Bro, he was like, I would not recommend. I was like, all right.
It is not recommended that you eat the mushrooms that grow inside the pots of your indoor plants when it's too humid. Don't do it.
Because I was like, it makes sense. I was healthy. It's like, I know the soil. Like, I was trying to weigh it all out. He was like, no, please do not.
Don't. It's because like you just don't know like what strain of mushroom it is. You don't know what its properties are.
It kind of comes out yellow.
Mushrooms are pretty powerful.
It's true. I believe you.
Yeah.
Eat fruit and mind your eat fruit and mind your business.
Hey guys, welcome to another week's episode of EFP Eat Fruit Pod. I'm your girl Kay.
I'm your girl Killa. 4 A's to you. Welcome. Right. Give the little soldier, the little big Draco dance.
Listen, Draco, like, okay. Wow, it was, so those of you that are in the States, because I know we got like a huge States audience, shout outs to you guys. But this weekend was all about Toronto. It was all about Caravana weekend. And even though it was
got my thigh jewels for it. We miss you, Caravana. What do you do?
Well, I ate some amazing food and got to have some amazing vibes. And it was just a great time. Like, I definitely was slacking on working. And I'm sorry, guys, responding to all emails from today moving forward. So everyone will get a response soon. But like, yeah, it just took some me time and like recharged. And like, the city was a whole vibe. Was driving around some places. People had like fireworks going on. You know, it was just a whole vibe. Too much traffic. Way too much traffic. And I do remember driving on the highway one time and I saw a huge accident and the car was like fully flipped over. I don't know who it was. I said a small little prayer when I passed, but whoever you are, or if you're someone that, you know about that situation, I'm sending out prayers to you and I hope everything was blessed. Because when I see that stuff on the road, I'm like, you never know who it could have been. So yeah, that was in sum pretty much what my weekend was. What about you, Killa? I know you're outside.
Well, I'm in yesterday's outfit. That's the first part. It was Caravana weekend. Technically, we took it all up. We all took it upon ourselves to just walk outside and have that vibe. We just refused. We refused to let the government boys win. For me, it wasn't so much the Caravana weekend. It was a family day weekend. Like, it was just family vibes. Back to yourself kind of vibes. But yeah, in the dance hall, so super litty. Shout out to Lady Hilly for a beautiful, wonderful party. Thank you for being super responsible. Everything kind of went super smooth. I can see everybody was just super grateful and happy to be surrounded by the regular dance hall people, but I was super happy to be surrounded by vibrant Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Well, just take a moment. I had my ticket and I was just like, I love us. And they're like, Camila, what's happening right now? I was just like, I love Black people. I love being Jamaican. Oh my gosh.
God,
it was that kind of nice.
Me. Like, thank you for blessing me.
And thank you for making me Jamaican on top of that. You didn't just make me Black. Like, you threw that extra sauce on me. Like, you made me gold, silver, and bronze. What to one time. So it was a super, super blessed weekend. I'm so happy that I got to experience it. It was fam love. I'm wearing the same outfit I was wearing yesterday. I have half of a double whopper with bacon that I need to take down after this in order to anchor my life. And then I'm going to sleep. And you reminded me of the verses. And now I got to get my life together. Here we are. We're caught up. No, we're caught up.
You definitely got to get your trees in order. Dipset blocks. You definitely got to get the liquor together. And yeah, set up the TV or wherever you're going to stream it from now.
They still sell their, like, they had their purple drink. Do they still have purple drink? Like, can you still purchase purple drink?
I feel like
I know we couldn't do it before here, but like, can it still be purchased? Is that still a thing? I think tonight's a night for purple drink.
But I have been in the LCBO lately, maybe a little bit too much. And I've been seeing a lot of like purple colored drinks just popping up. Like there's this gin that was kind of like in a round bottle, it was purple. I know, you could get a nice fortified wine or something. Grape wine, that would probably be purple. But the purple drink, I haven't seen that.
Was it scissor?
Yep.
Maybe I just remember they had something in the liquor store. I don't know if we got them up here, but for sure in the States it was running. I just don't know if they still have it. If it's still their thing. But yeah,
legit.
We're just getting ready for that.
I'm fully on the food. I have a lot of food left from this barbecue. I cannot wait to box. I'm gonna add a salad on it. Shout out to Killa.
Salad first.
She's implemented
salad first. The movement.
Yep. Yeah, she's implemented that word in my life, and I have not turned back. So, right.
And it gives you the best of all worlds. You know.
It does. It does.
Covers your bases great.
No, I truly feel the difference. So I always thank you for that. You know, Oracle, I'm telling you niggas. Telling you niggas. So yeah, like we both had a great weekend. Thank God we both came back home safe. We were responsible. I definitely had some ginger last night before I went to bed. I definitely put 2-3 drops of the eucalyptus in my diffuser, and I was like, God, just turn up my lungs right now. And got our alkaline water, definitely chugging up the water. And that's what it's all about, because we've spent like 2 years, I can say at least for Killa and I, like we've definitely been inside for like about 2 years or so. And it's just like, I need to see my family. I need to see my friends. I am going to be responsible, but this is like the new normal. And I'm not telling you what to do with your body. You know what I mean? We can get into some things. I'm not telling you what to do with your body, but like just be as mindful as you can and as present as you can. Because it's like this thing I saw on social media the other day where this man's just like, are you a gravesite? Like, stop filling yourself with dead things. So even though I definitely do not only consume like meat and stuff like that, it definitely hit. And I was like, yeah, sometimes people need to hear it like that. So, Killa and I were outside, but don't be mistaken. We definitely still practice things that,
Make sure we had our masks, made sure we had our sanitizers, made sure we're washing our hands when we go inside the house.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Just moving from a populated area just to make sure, like, I mean, I respect it. I am definitely taking the faith walk on it. I'm praying up, I'm praying down, but yeah, like it's not just about me. So I kind of do have to follow in the environment and be safe.
Facts. Safe.
I want to go out again. Like, yeah, you're right. 2 years, like that's a lot for the psyche.
Yeah.
This is a different type of cabin fever.
We already know September we turning up. Killa already told you. We turning up September. So get your girl hitting 30. And we've had a lot of W's. So I am reminding myself and my friends that we gotta turn up at least if it's every couple of months, like, because everybody's just going so hard, and I get it, but like we have to also treat ourselves. Like, take the Nikes out the box. Let's go outside. Like, yeah.
For real. And it's that kind of summer. It's like, it's a YOLO summer. A YOLO with safety, but it's a YOLO summer.
It is. It definitely is. So, speaking of a little bit of summer, because I know you and I were both talking about food. I definitely loved a lot of the food that I experienced this weekend. I had some octopus, seafood, lots of dope salads. I had a salad that I really, 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 really love. I had a bean salad, and I had, what's the name of that salad? Oh my God. I'm just gonna slip me now, but it's like a parsley based salad. It was so good.
Like a
So hmm?
like a tabbouleh.
Yes, it was tabbouleh. There we are. Loved it. Loved it. So I'm definitely gonna have to learn how
Yeah,
to make that and have it like all the time. Like no matter what I have, even if I mix it with the rice, it hits.
always. Yeah, yeah,
Mm, mm, mm,
yeah.
mm.
That's how I knew. It's like she said parsley. I'm like, like that tabbouleh, like pickled. What is it they put pickled? I don't know what they
I don't
pickle.
know, but it's like a grain in there.
Yeah, that they
I know
threw in there. Oh.
there's lemon like zest in it. I know there's
Mm-hmm.
like olive oil.
The wheat bulgur instead of using like
Yes,
that grain. Yeah,
yes, yes.
buckwheat. I think they might put in there. I don't know, but it's yeah, it's good. It's goodness.
I actually have a bit in the fridge because I was like, I need that in my life. So definitely gonna have
Where
that. So Sweetie has something coming out with McDonald's. Because you know how Travis Scott on that K-pop group BTS, they had like special
yeah,
meals at McDonald's. So
yeah.
now Sweetie announced her meal coming out with McDonald's, I think like sometime soon. So I was kind of looking at the meal. Did you catch the pictures of the meal?
I'm actually looking at it right now.
It's kind of yummy, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I've had a lot of friends that worked at McDonald's, so you know sometimes you pull up to the drive-through and they know you're
Yeah.
there, so they hook you up. Like this is what CT's meal looks like to me. Like one of those meals. Like your Retro knows you got the Big Mac, but they stuffed the 4 nuggets in the side for you. You know, gave you an extra fries. Like good time, good time. What do you think about it?
And you say it, and I'm just like remembering my old McDonald's meal, which was like 20-piece nuggets, 2 large fries, and a fucking root beer. And you're right, that's what it is. Can't live that life anymore because I know what's in it now. But I look at this and I'm just like, well, you know what? Good for you, sweetie. Like, good for you on getting paid to keep McDonald's relevant. Yeah, get your hard-earned point. Like for McDonald's, I'm just like, you're repurposing your shit again, but like, good on you. You should. People
Right?
need to keep eating the crap. But
And like
I like the sweet and sour sauce with a little like diamond on it
no,
because
she
she's
has her
nice.
own sauce. So I'm gonna give it a try. And plus, I want to support her. And as well, what was I gonna say? She has her own sauce, but I was having a full debate with someone. They're like, "Yo, the fries on the Big Mac is a ting." I'm like, "I've never tried that." They're like, "Yo, it turns it up to a
I
whole."
mean, like in the Big Mac,
Yeah, that's her meal. So it's like, I
there's
never.
French fries in there.
Huh?
It's French fries in there.
Yeah.
I'm
I
looking on the McDonald's site and they're making it look really neat. Like they're making it
no,
just look like it's a Big Mac and then there's fries and then there's the
those
4-piece nuggets
sprinkles
on the
of
side.
ketchup.
They're not saying it's a smorgasbord because I'd be hyped about that actually. As a fat kid,
Yeah,
that would get me amped.
there's fries in
You
there.
said French fries in there and I'm like, I stay stuffing
I never knew
French fries.
about that.
Oh, it's a vibe. Imagine just a whole fucking junk food meal right here in your hand like this one time.
I feel like I haven't unlocked my true fatness now. So definitely gonna try that.
There's levels. There's, you know, like it's so good when there's always levels to ascend to.
Right? I'm happy that I'm
Oh my gosh, I
still
might try this. You never know. I don't really mess with McDonald's too tough anymore, but I might. You never know.
same. So definitely want to give it a try. Um, keeping present with our ladies. I know
Mm.
Shinsia, shout outs to her. She recently did a freestyle on Funk Flex, which we know what Funk Flex freestyles means to the game, the culture. Not so much as what it used to be, but still the concept. But I was really happy to see her up there because you know how I feel about dancehall and reggae and being like forefathers for hip hop. So
Mhm.
definitely you should have more dancehall artists up there because we do freestyle a lot and we do it effortlessly. And having a female dancehall like up there, it was really dope. She did her like she super killed it. Super killed it. Do you want to hear a snippet?
Yeah, but I know like when it comes to Sincere, I don't think most people realize that she actually is a psych freestyler. Like her off the top is pretty deadly on any given day. So I would definitely love to hear a little snippet.
Let me get that for you. But she like the cadence, the way she was like, because I already like her tone how she raps. So here you guys go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all just a little flavor.
What I expected. Yeah.
And
that like she spits that every time. And it's not necessarily the same flow, but when she spits, yo.
She goes hard. So it was really great. Congratulations. And you know, Jamaica, we're just out here because you know, if you're watching this thing,
silver brands, what? And you think that's their first rodeo? Baby girl won her gold in 2018, 2012, got another bronze 2016. And what are they saying now? Jamaican women are running the sprints, like they're dominating.
We love you, Sha'Carri Richards.
The little torture colony from the Caribbean.
You didn't really stand a chance against us, but we love you. But you know, you already know.
I feel like we've been nice to you a little too long, you know? We've been sitting down on some chill things for a little bit because we know the rest of y'all hate being called, you know, us.
Right?
But at the end of the day, you might want to get like us. Just saying. Boasting Jamaicans to the world, like you have every reason to boast right now. Throw up a red stripe, throw up an Appleton, throw up whatever way you want, throw up. Big up on ourselves, man.
Jamaica, congratulations. It was really beautiful to see all three just on the podium. Major respects. And you know, there was a video I posted on the blog. You already know how I feel about old people. I shouldn't say it like that, but I love me some old people. Right? And the Jamaican leader posted a video of her grandmother, Elaine Thompson, her grandmother watching the race in Jamaica, like while she was racing. And you know, it just reminded me so much of my granny's room. You know how the curtain pan the wire rod and the barrel hand around the corner, and she was wearing her, you could tell her yard clothes, and she's like, "Go there, girl. Go there, girl." Like it reminded me of how my mom sounded when she's coming to my soccer games. Embarrassing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, niggas just know we need to see you there first. Like, and she stand up and she gets up and she's in front of the like it just like brought like, you know, who's cutting onions right now? That type of vibe. Like it was just like, and being able to just be like, that is something for our ancestors. Like, she's a part of that. Like, you know, Granny just knowing what that struggle was, and my granddaughter there at Tokyo. You know, like you already know.
And you imagine for her, like, it's her highest excitement, but she would never even be able to quantify what her granddaughter is going through and what she's experiencing. But like, she's just adding that good energy onto it on her own way and her own accord, and it's celebration.
It is and it's
beautiful.
And I'm celebrating this queen as well, Simone Biles, with whatever she wants to do, but like I'm just loving the way she's in control, and that's what I'm celebrating.
And you know, that's what needs to be celebrated, is that all the other narratives that are being kind of like strung along with it are irrelevant, and they're gonna get left in the nosebleeds because they're too far back. That's really what I love, is that they all, not just her, but they've all taken control of their narratives and said, no, I'm not this. I said I'm this, and it stays here. To Simone and also the other lovely ladies, like, we cover you, we support you, we surround you, we got your back. Like, we love you, we're hailing you up. We never thought any different. Nothing never changed. You presented yourself a particular way, and we've accepted you that way. So keep your control, keep your power. We got your back. Everything else is in nosebleeds, and that's that.
Facts. There was this video that was going viral, and it was somewhere like in some hood in the States. And this black girl that was wearing her lace front and had her nails done and shit. Some white person thought that she was Sha'Carri, and they started asking her to take pictures. But I'm like, okay, well, as long as y'all know that it's a friendly vibe when you see someone like that, and don't stereotype us for being ourselves or being a black ginger or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I feel like I won't say that, but yeah.
Shout out to black gingers. Because we know I love a ginger. Just shout out the black gingers. I think that's funny because for me, you're saying that, and I'm like, I would have taken all the pictures and fully made them feel like they met a fucking like Olympic hopeful when they really didn't. They met a bitch on the way to the bodega.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious. You're hilarious.
Sure, I'll take a picture with you on my way to get some backwoods. Or that like bodega sandwich, you know, with like the avocado and this the roasted smoked turkey breast and the like 12 grain bread and whatnot. You just have to ask Poppy for the right one.
Wow. So there's a lot happening. We want to do send condolences, right?
Yeah. Betty Wap's family's been going through it in the last couple of weeks, it seems, maybe even for this whole year. And we're just gonna send a whole bunch of love, light, health, wealth, healing, and love to his family. Our condolences for the passing of your young daughter, Lauren. And we're holding up the blessings and sending up nothing but good vibes for that. Nothing's really been said. They kind of just posted it and left it at that. And like, we're gonna respect that off the strength that this is your mourning and healing process. But like, once again, you're surrounded, you're covered. We got your back, and we're sending love. For sure.
Major love. I feel like that king goes through a lot. His story is so, that is life, but you know what I mean? Like, he's one of the ones.
You have to know that in between this stuff happening, like he's still beating cases and stuff. Like his life is very like litty currently. So supporting that king.
It is, yeah, sending love your way, king, because I have had close family members that have lost young children, sometimes not even to the age of 1. And just me as not being the parent, the fact that there's even a coffin that size, totally like, so, and that's no aim to comparison what a parent could feel. 100%. So it does a lot, and it's one of those moments of life that reminds you life waits for no one. It's not a when you get old. So that is very important, to take care of yourself, because you never know. Yeah, so condolences to them. So to kind of move things, sorry guys, it was a bit low, but we really want to send well wishes that way. Something that I did kind of want to talk about is moving out for the first time. Do you remember that, Kayla?
Of course I do. I couldn't forget that. That was the beginning of the end of an era, and I'm thankful for that. So like, whoever I am right now is because I said, nah, it's time. It was time. And like, when I moved out, I wasn't trying to have a roommate. Granted, I am slightly different because I did get up and just leave home at like 18. It wasn't me moving out, but I moved to another country. I went and found work somewhere else and kind of like built a little life for myself. I did end up coming home and going back to my mom's house. And I think that's really what prompted me to move out, because going back to being under somebody else's roof and having somebody kind of tell you that they feel like they should kind of be in control of your schedule, or you need to do this in their house. It was difficult. And I'm a very stubborn human being. I'm an extremely stubborn human being. And I don't fucking care. No, I'm not doing that because the logic of it is that I'm an adult now. I don't care if I'm in your house. And I had to take all those conversations in, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to figure out me. Like, this is no longer my space anymore. You know what I mean? And I went and found a space for myself. So yeah, I didn't necessarily do the roommate thing. I was ready to like go have my own space, and I understood at that point that healing was necessary. So having that little like space for myself and moving out definitely, and that's why I say it's like it was the end of an era, because it brought me through to all that other shit. And here we are today. So yeah, moving out, I can't forget that. I can never forget that. That was like a moment.
Do you remember what led you to like moving out, or like why you did it?
It was, well, for me, my spirit was like, it's time. Also, me and my mom were bucking heads all the time. We lived in Milton, and my mom and stepfather had bought a new house in Milton. They did not let me know that they were doing that. And it was almost like, oh, well, we're moving to this new house, and you can just pay rent here. And I was just like, excuse you? That's a decision you made for me. And at that time, like I didn't have my license before they moved out there. I got my license because they moved out there, because I needed to get around this place that wasn't really developed. Please understand, I came from Brooklyn, where I could walk 10 minutes in any direction and have a subway. You know what I mean? And then I moved to Milton, and there were more cows and there were people, and there weren't really sidewalks. So I needed to get my license. So when I was there, I didn't have a car. So for them to have moved where they moved, it made it very inconvenient for me to live there. And I had to see that as well, that like decisions were being made in what was supposed to be my household also, and I wasn't being considered. Wow. And it's not a bad thing, but I had to look at that for myself and be like, so this doesn't work for me, because everybody considered what they considered. I have to consider what I have to consider. And that was kind of like,
yeah, that was like it sounds like a crossroad moment. Like
it really was. And it was one of those where I was just like, man, fuck it, let go.
Legit.
Here we are.
Legit.
Yeah.
For me, definitely, my mom and I were bucking heads a lot, and I just kind of felt like, oh my God, like nobody really wanted to let me stay with them. Like when I'd be like, oh, can I come? Because I was really young. I think I was about 17-ish the first time I moved out on my own. So there were definitely a lot of things I never knew when it came to moving out that I was learning along the process, right? So once everybody kind of was like, no, because they didn't want smoke with my mom, I guess, I was just kind of like, okay, well, let me look in the paper, because I know I always see something about rooms there. And then that led me to like people being like, well, why don't you check out this site? Why don't you check out this? And then going through a whole rabbit hole, by the bus stops, because those times I didn't have a car yet, how they have the
rent thingy, the little booklets, the newsletters.
Yeah. So then I started, oh, that's what that is about. Let me get some of those, and started circling and calling places. And then I remember just being like, I wanted an apartment with my own this and that. And then calling these mans are like, those times mans would have been like 1,100, which is not enough money, because back then you could probably still get a one bedroom for 400. Now it's not that, but just to show you
the gauge,
how long, and then I remember like being like, oh shit, so I can't even get my own like apartment. So because those times I was going off of some, like I was working at Wonderland, and that's when I just started at the private club. So checks weren't really like
running
big back then.
Yeah.
Understanding, like, there was just a lot I didn't understand. I hit the ground like literally running. So but I just want to be real with y'all at home. And by the way, if you guys like the episode so far, definitely like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for all your support. Shit, we forgot to say that, but
Eat fruit.
There you go.
Your business.
We love y'all. Thank you guys for your continuous support. But like, yeah, and like I remember, so I just want to be real because I realize a lot of people, that is a stage in life that we go through, you know? And so going through that and then having to now call these places, book appointments, get enough bus fare that I could go to these places to go look at the places. Then then it's like, all right, well, I want it. Then they're like, oh no, you don't just pay this number. You gotta pay like 2 months, a 10 call first and last. And I'm like, what? So then I'm like, okay, had to get through that. Then I'm like, maybe because here in Canada you can get housing. So a lot of my cousins have kind of, you know, they were advanced. They were out in these streets, you know. So I was younger, so I was like, yo, like, how'd you get this spot? How'd you whatever? So people try to put me on game. But then when you're calling all those places, some are like, oh, you gotta stay in a hotel shelter, maybe for like a 2 week
Or shelter for sure. Yeah.
then we put you somewhere based on how distressed and your bad your situation is. Then like, can you imagine? And then it was even worse that I didn't have kids. So they're like, oh, you're single, you're fine. Like you can.
Yeah.
So there was that reality I had to face. And I was like, all right, let me sign up for subsidy or housing. Well, but the list was like 3 year, 2 year. So whatever, I'm on the list, but still yet to get a call.
Yeah.
I'm good now, but still yet to get a call. Then like, so then like, I'm like, all right, cool. Then circle back to the people that I'm like, all right, I have your first and last. They're like, oh, whoa. Just because you have the bread doesn't mean you can just come in here, fam.
Need a whole check.
Who can say check? Who's vouching for you?
That's what I mean. To do a check.
Oh yeah.
They do the whole like character check. They do your whole fucking credit check. They make sure they know who they're renting to.
Sometimes a bitch was just, as I said, those ages. So I was in uni, like I was like, are you fucking like I was living with my mom and they were just like, well, this is the world, honey. And either get it from her or get some character. So then I found the loophole, all right. I can get character references. So got some of my solid friends that, you know, were up. So like, yo, write me this thing.
One thing
Some
about
of them may
being
be real,
like,
some of them may have been made up. You never know.
one thing about being really fucking nice to everybody, I felt no ways to be like, hey, I just need you to say that I'm a fucking solid person. Thanks. Cool. Oh, another thing that like when I moved out that I just remembering now is I was living at home and I was working full time. Like I had stripped down the amount of money when my paycheck came in. Instantly there was a deposit that would go into my TFSA, so I wouldn't see my paycheck.
Yes,
So what I was living off of was like less than $300 every 2 weeks. And like when I went looking for apartments, because I had trained myself to think that I only made $300 because I needed to get that money put aside, I was like looking for like $600 apartments and shit like that. Obviously that wasn't gonna happen. Actually it did. Like there were some studios that I found. Bachelor apartments that I found at that point. Yeah. But when I came to this apartment building, they had a studio. It literally is a depressing little room with a kitchenette and barely a bathroom. And I was like, I don't know if my mind, like I need the space. I don't know if my mind is gonna be able to like bounce off and heal the way I want. And the dude's like, oh, well, there's a 1-bedroom, but it's not ready. That's why we didn't list it. I was like, let me see it. And when I saw the 1-bedroom, I was like, I love this. This is what I love. And he gave me the price. And in my head, I was like, I don't know if I could pay that. I didn't say that to him. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do whatever. I was like, I'll work it out when I get home. And I was just like, it's like I was going through it. And then at some point it clicked. I was like, you're living off of $300 for a reason. You actually make. And I was just like, oh, and I have all this money that because I trained myself to think that I had, so I had my first and last, I had everything sitting there. And I was just like, it's time. It's time to be the fuck up out of here.
Facts. So did that, right? Then eventually some places actually told me no. Like they weren't like, oh, this is cute, you got friends. Like, no, they were like, no, sorry, this isn't gonna work. It's not good. Like it was a process and I got really, down. Sometimes I was like, yo, I should just go back. but like things were just so bad. I was like, fam, if the cost of my freedom is this amount, God, we're just gonna spend 70% of it.
That's exactly it. God, if this is the cost, I know you got the provision for me. We're doing it. This is the cost.
Bad. And that's what led to your girl working Friday 5 to 9, Saturday and Sunday 9 to 9, Monday and Tuesday 4 to 9 while going to uni full time. You heard? Because she was not, yeah. And then doing that and then living there and then be like, oh shit, like you can't have curry chicken and then king every day. Like it really is a spaghetti life for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't have furniture.
As
I had a lawn chair.
As Drizzy said, if the noodle sriracha still taste it, cause facts.
Like you were making your own cup of noodles, you were like spicing up your cup of noodles. Like that's what I'd be doing in my life, Drake. All right, I might rate you still. I might.
Facts. You gotta rate.
One thing though that I do remember in like the process of me moving out and even kind of being independent after the fact is my parents not really being able to manage it and kind of like trying to second guess me on where I was going. And I realized that it was just such a huge change for them and they're not used to communicating their feelings in the way they should. So they tried to be controlling. Like my mom tried to force me to live in like, oh, you need to live with this person. This person is selling has a room or has a basement and you need to live there. And I was like, this is not for you this time. So that like I literally had to fight her.
Yeah. Or like, even that feeling of like you gotta like low-key ask for permission. It was a weird phase. Like I was like,
yeah.
Still, like,
they always try to deter you.
Yeah. And like she couldn't wait for a nigga like so she could be like, yeah, see, I think that like man. Like
that too, the oh, you know you're gonna be back. You know you're gonna be back. No, and for me, every time they did it, I was just like, you don't know nothing. You know, you're so wrong. And I don't even have to be mad at you because I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and you're gonna get proved wrong.
Facts. And that's, to be honest, a lot of what has kept me on my toes. And
right?
Trying to be like, we gotta get
I ain't going back. I ain't never going back. You ain't finna catch me in Milton like that, all out there again. It ain't gonna happen. Well, let's pray. Who knows? Who knows where I'm going? Wherever I'm going, God's got me there. So whoop-de-whoop. But like back in that day when it's like, oh, you know, our kids are just gonna come home. You know, they're not gonna make it. I was just like, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah. No.
You raised me, and your thought is I'm not gonna make
it. Facts. Like, where's the confidence?
Don't be disrespecting your gene pool. This is ridiculous.
Facts. They had no hope. So, and like, it was this weird thing of like even being like, as you said perfectly, they don't know how to communicate their feelings properly. So maybe now when they see you're dead ass serious about leaving and they maybe want to backpedal or maybe reconsider some of the things that, you know what, this really didn't matter. You ain't got to leave. Or like they would try to play you and make it seem like you weren't paying rent and having responsibilities up in this bitch. And like, nah, you're not going to play me like that. So now when I dip and you really see that income has left or that like, yeah. So
my mom tried to play me on that too. She's like, oh, you'd rather go pay somebody else rent instead of helping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't even need me in the decision to buy this house, which means you didn't need no help. Apparently, I'm gonna go help myself.
Yeah, and it was just needed. And honestly, like even though, as I said, when I first moved out, it was definitely really stressful. Didn't get to hang out with my friends that much, but they got to come by and kick it. And, you know, just going through that whole experience, learning how to like go to sleep, you know, by myself. Just, it was a lot of responsibility. All the little things that go into having your place. You have to buy paper, toilet paper, toothpaste, like, you know, all the things that low-key, I'm not gonna lie, your parents will kind of have that on deck. So I never thought about it. I was mad young. I was like 17, 18, like, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of
yeah, a lot of learning.
Yeah, it was a lot of learning, but definitely moving forward, if I'm blessed to have a child, like I don't want them to have to go through that, but I'm definitely going to find a creative way to kind of get them to learn those things so that when they go out, they don't have to be like mommy and hit the ground running and having to have weird, just too many stories, too many
Yeah.
stories.
I agree with you on the strength that like some of those things could have been put in a cute little like Google Docs folder. You know,
Yeah,
like
like now you have YouTube
give it
videos.
a cute little SOP put together. I do agree with that. But I also definitely agree with like that whole kind of getting pushed out of the nest and knowing you can fly kind of thing. Like
That,
so necessary because that's probably the first level of backbone that allowed me to be that kind of person that's like, no boundaries. Yes, this, like I'm going for that. Like it gave me that little resolve to say, yo, I gotta push through this.
facts.
I have to push this, I have to see this to the end kind of thing.
And it was definitely, just on like the emotional side of it, it was definitely something like I'm not even gonna front, just being transparent up to this day. Like I feel like my mom and I still, it's almost like, I don't know, as I said, I don't really know what she's communicating, so I can't really speak for her, but she's not doing a great job at it. But it's like this thing of like, oh, you left me. It's always kind of like the energy. Um, but I don't let it get to me, because at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to hurt you, but like I have to grow up, and clearly like we can't cohabitate together. So like something's got to give, right? And if every day Jamaican parents, they have a tendency to always be like threatening you or being like, when you're 18 or like all of that, like that is something that definitely needs to be cut and stopped, because when you're saying that consistently to your child, like day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, and like technically, nigga, when I turned 18, I was like nothing. Like I remember turning 18 and being like, nothing happened. And I was like, so why is she always cussing me about when I turned, well, shit did happen. I was living on my own by then, but like, because it just got to a point of urgency where I'm like, nigga, I can't even wait till then. Like, you're driving me nuts. Like, and that was another complication for me too. Clearly, I was underage, so I had to find someone, that would rent out to me and being okay with waiting a couple of months till I actually turn legal. So it's just a lot of learning experience, a lot of things I had to learn. I remember my first place, like I didn't know about rent receipts, so it came time for like my taxes and stuff, like, and I was getting like screwed, and then I was like, oh shit, like I have to have proof that like I did this. So learned about that. Um, what's something else you say you learned when you like first moved out that you didn't necessarily?
I was actually thinking about it while you were talking. One thing that I had to come to a very strong and honest realization for was that I was actually ill prepared and ill equipped to be out on my own and be independent. And from that, and because of that, like deficiency, that I was gonna have to like fight my way through it. Like it was one of those, like I wasn't even gonna be able to say, oh well, maybe it won't be like this. I had to kind of gird my loins at that point. And yeah, like same as I said before, that's kind of why I am who I am right now. And I'm kind of like in the positions that I'm in now. Which is
Facts,
pretty great.
facts, 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 facts. So yeah, like I'm grateful that, like, now looking back where I am now and like how things were back then, like I wouldn't change anything about it, but I definitely do not want my child moving forward to go through that. The world is even so much more different now. Like low key, I was thinking about it. I was like, God was like, I really had some praying grandmothers, and God was truly, truly covering me in in a lot of situations. Like I remember one place where I lived, I was renting out a condo, and this Asian lady was my roommate, but then like she made the living room also a bedroom, and then another, like it was just like, you know what I mean, and like you're alone as a young girl. Like I didn't really think about it because I was just so, I fed myself so much of that energy where I'm just like, I can't be here with this anymore. I like any means necessary. Like it was literally like that. I wasn't sucking dick for change, but like Shorty was out there working. Like, and there's nothing wrong with sucking dick for change, but like it didn't get that bad for me because I just like, I already, as I said, I was working at Wonderland. That's a staple place, I guess, where you work when you're young in Toronto. And then it was really good because when I was working there, there was like a special company for pizza, and then they hired me on to do other seasons. So like they would do cover like the ACC when it used to be the ACC. They would cover like the Toronto Marley Center, or they would do like the home shows at like the Direct Energy building at
Yeah.
Sydney and stuff. So like for me, like I've always been working. I've always had more than one job, like because that's what I was used to seeing. I thought that, but either way, so it worked out. But I would do it differently. Like I'm gonna let my kid like earn allowance or stuff, or like if they want to do stuff, all right, well it costs this much, like figure it out. But that's what it's all about. Every generation moving forward, you're supposed to make improvements. Like I'm sure my mom made a lot of improvements with me that like her mom, you know what I mean? That she's like, yo, I'll never do this with my kids. So moving forward, that's what it's all about. And like as I said, moving out was definitely experience. So definitely know you have to have your references. So be good out in these streets. It matters, like credit for real, for real. Like I got niggas I still gotta write letters for when they want to go to the States. So it's a real thing. Okay. And yeah, have your first and last. It's not just the number you seen as the rent per month. You're gonna need first and last. Matter of fact, the rule of thumb actually for me from that lesson moving forward, I always had at least 4 months rent saved before moving somewhere. Because as I said, when you first move in, I didn't have no big furniture at all. Like had to go on a search. You didn't realize, oh shit, to fill up the kitchen, meaning utensils, fork, knife, little things that make it workable. You know what I mean? Bathroom, you gotta get your cleaning supplies. You gotta let like everything costs, right? And those little costs I did not factor in when I was moving. I was just thinking about the number for the space. Like
Yeah. Because you just want it out. Honestly, same. Yeah, you do want to look at those things, but at the same time, for me, I have to look back even just from having this conversation with you, and I'm just like, oh my God, I give thanks for the hustle. You know what I mean? Like, it might not look as fancy and nice as you want. Yeah, your parents might have to like get a little bit of like anxiety from you growing up and shit, but it's a great way to learn that grit that you're gonna need to take with you for the rest of your life. And it's just another one of those opportunities to just like trust your struggle and learn and do better and be better. I feel like it was a blessed situation. And you know what? Like your parents come around. Like my mom comes through with groceries because she feels like it. She comes through, she's like, oh, do you need a shelf? She'll come through with a shelf and be like, go assemble that. You know what I mean? Like we found a new groove, and that's another reason why it's awesome, because like you need change. You need change for things to change. Like change needs a catalyst, is what I'm trying to say.
Facts.
It definitely made for a different dynamic, but also because of learning all those things, it gave me the dialogue. It gave me the words. It gave me the ability to understand myself as a communicator. And I now bring that to my mother. So we do have something. We do have a way to communicate now. Yeah. You know? So shit can come full circle. It can get better. Like growing up isn't always a trap. It's not always a trick. Sometimes it's good.
And like we were talking about it earlier, where it's just like I'm being put on game now. Like I understand, like when I go, I cannot say no to anything she wants to give me. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, pick up paper towel me off here, and looking at the fridge, I have this, and oh, me did just cook this. You never did want some. Like it's her way of saying like I want to send you with a care package. So I'm like, but we're delayed because I've lived on my own like forever. But
if you know any West Indian woman, you know that means I love you the fucking most. If you know any West Indian woman, you know she's trying to tell you how much she loves you by sending you off with a bag of things.
I love it. So it was great. So definitely stocked up. I was bragging to Killa like, yo, when we're done recording, shit's about to be lit. The snap is about to
right. Yeah, man, this was actually a really good topic. Like I like how this unfolded. This was a nice like heart to heart.
Yeah, because when I was thinking about it, what actually brought it on was like there's this new girl I found. Oh my gosh, I wish I remembered her name. But like she just does all these videos, like just encouraging young people about like hygiene, just the stuff like when I was in high school, started to be interested in boys. Like we didn't have YouTube like this or whatever to look and be like, all right, this is the spray I need, these are the perfumes I need. This, we didn't have like a guidebook per se. There's so many blogs and stuff now where like you're able to watch influencers and be like, okay, this is the foundation. She should, like, you know what I mean? So it was like, I was like, wow, like I remember when I first moved out, if I like had, because my cousins, like no shade, no tea, but like they had kids, did the subsidy route, all of that. Like, and I just from early, I was like, that was not really the wave I'm trying to be on, because with that, when another thing you learn, when you're taking bread from the government, that comes with rules, that comes with stipulations. And to me, that was starting to feel, it was triggering me to what I was trying to leave from. So I just really had to put in that work and like, yo, I know I'm tired. I know I'm only eating those times, minimum wage. I was getting like $8.25 a fucking hour. Do you remember? And then when they finally changed it to like $10.25 or something like that.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, bro. Like a long.
Don't be calling us old. But like niggas do not know. They just,
I am old as a summer day is long.
I don't believe you. You look younger than me, Killa. Whatever. Bye.
Vampire jeans.
On you. Seriously, lessons.
It's so crazy you're talking about like the subsidy route, and even that I have to look back at. And you're right, like it's an invasive process where like I'm gonna be honest, it's a low income situation. These are people who need help, and you're dehumanizing the government. It's a process of dehumanizing you. And if you don't have like strong mentals, that's why you have these people walking in and assaulting their caseworker and them kind of things, because you have them feeling like animals. It is extremely invasive. But I had to do it at a certain point in time, because the sad part of it is I did move out and I didn't actually have the support system that I needed when I had moved out in the past. Okay. And it was one of those like same thing you're saying, like, yo, if I gotta hustle, if I gotta get it, I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up being able to use it to my advantage, very much so. Don't ask me how I paid rent and tuition off of fucking welfare, but somehow it worked. It happened. And for me, like when it came time for them to kind of give what they said they were gonna give, they're a little shifty with that. They want, oh well, we really can. And is there I would be the one walking in there saying, if I walked here from my address, I walked here because I don't have enough money for bus fare. You need to provide those extra tickets that you said, or tokens that you said you were going to do. Oh, well, we can't do it. I have job interviews. How do you expect me to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I knew I wasn't trying to like play any games, it put me in a position to have to advocate for myself, kind of thing. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like that real hustler grinder spirit, like that's where it came from.
Exactly. And that's why it's just like, that's a reality as well of Toronto, like that. Like a lot of people outside, shout outs to our States audience and people in the islands that like y'all don't know about. You look over here and think it's all, oh, free healthcare, but like
gold and all that shit.
That is something I know a lot of us have had to go through, and that's a real thing. And if you're really from the city and you really grew up, like I'm never gonna stunt, like as I've said before, like my mom wasn't feeding me porridge out of a butter dish on the bus and things. Like we come from realness, from the ground. You see what I'm saying? So I have no shame in my game. Like I myself, bare niggas, we've had to find ways and loopholes in the system in this place called Toronto that y'all love so much, to just have literal bus fare to even just fucking go to work. B. I remember when mans found out you could kind of tear the ticket in half and fold it in a way where if you drop it, yep.
You mean like when we had pennies and you could cut the tips off the pennies and it would make it the weight of a token? I didn't necessarily do it, but I'm just showing you, there were bare things that people had to do just to get to work.
You'd have your
trash. And like you have to understand that your system don't give two fucks about you to even say, hey, let's accommodate that.
You know how many times I remember living on my own and I had my transfer from the bus, and the bus ride for me for some places that I work would be so long where it would change from the day transfer to the night transfer. And then you have that dumbass bus driver that wants to give you bare issue to make it seem like you're scamming to get on. And I'm like, bruh, it's not that serious. That's why I was so grateful. It took years later, but it's because of all the shit that we and people passive had to go through, where they're just like, TTC made that a rule. Niggas don't, whatever, you can't kick them off the bus, because that was a real
thing.
Ooh, like this comes to my eyes. Like, bro, man's never know you have your chance, or you're just flashing it quick, hoping the bus driver doesn't call you back. Or STC, because you weren't really in the East, but STC, there was a local part. Yo,
East.
Walk through real quick, and you're right there to get like real spit.
Stomping grounds, baby.
Real spit. Real life. We come from real shit. Like, I was looking at some pictures at my mom's when I was there this weekend. Because my aunt, she used to have an apartment down on Marley, and like every Sunday when we come from church, before we change and take off our church clothes, we had to stand up in the hallway and always take pictures every Sunday. And so you get your individual photos, and then everyone has to take photos together. And I'm just looking at that like, yo, niggas would never know what we come from, what we went through. So yeah, you see killer spreads and this and that, but like, we come from welfare, tokens, all of them.
I feel like I'm not gonna say like I wear poverty, because I wanted to say I kind of feel like I don't wear my poverty, but like I do believe like within it doesn't take very long for you to see that I got a lot of grit. So I kind of wear those badges. I wear my badges. You know, I don't ever talk about Ryerson without saying I got through uni with welfare and bursaries. You know what I mean? But I'm here now.
Ooh, I remember you say bursaries. I remember I didn't really know about that, because one, my first year going to college, another, those parts of just, you know, that balance of being out, your parents, you know, all that. I remember going to college and she like refused to sign papers and stuff for me to get the OSAP and shit. So like, that's how I found out, because I started crying like, yo, I'm really not going to be able to go to school because I can't afford it. And through crying and bawling, submissions, whatever, then I realized they put me on game. Okay, you pay the 5 bills, and then you have until the end of the semester to pay the rest of your tuition. So that's why niggas had to be working that shift, because I'm like, I just had enough to get my timetable, and then had to be working and doing assignments to make sure that by December, like, I could fucking have that, so that I can have the next 5 bills to pay the down payment to hold me until April.
Yeah.
Niggas do not know, yo. But like, I hope this conversation resonates with someone, and whatever point you are at in life, like, fucking go for that shit. And we all go through crossroads where it's real nigga moments, as we'll say. Either go make or break, nigga. How bad you want this? How bad do you want this?
Just know that part. How bad do you want it? But like, that being said, for how bad you want it, like, if you got the will, there is a way.
Facts, super facts. So thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
Throw it up, bro.
We have our own show, fucking sponsored by our fucking companies. Like, we have beautiful people at home that actually see us, and they're like, you know what? I may listen to what these niggas gotta say, and like, y'all fucking with us. And like, that is not something I ever in my life take lightly. And especially as a Libra, how like I already internalized so much, like, oh, they're not gonna like me, they're not gonna this, they're not, like, you know what I mean? So like truly, like, thank God. Like, so I hope, you know, this advice, like, oh my gosh, I remember Boys and Girls Club, niggas would be like, yo, they're giving out free checks for groceries, or they're giving out free tokens, come true for this program.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, that's how I learned the micro hustle. That little weird hand to hand of me being like, all right, so I have this money from welfare, I'm putting this amount aside. Okay, this has to pay for this. Okay, so I'm gonna get this money here. Oh, so there's a money here that I did. Okay, cool. So now that's gonna this, and then it brings you through. Like, just learning that is what brought me to understanding the micro hustle. The micro hustle is what helped me understand like how I get it and where I put my value in, and then that is how I got to the point where now I have companies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
Steps, just steps. There's a process. Like, do process. Do not diss it. Don't diss process.
Don't diss the process. Don't diss the process, because the process will have you. There were times I was standing in a payphone booth, because my dad lived in the States, just calling him, crying like, "Yo, I'm not going back," but like, "Dad, can you send me something to West Radio, Dad?"
Yeah. And then that's another thing. Like, you learn how to reach out when you need to reach out. Like, it's not always about people coming to help you. Sometimes it's like, I need your help. I'm putting my hands up. I need help.
What?
Hello, hi village.
Killer. When
Hi
my dad
village.
sent me that bill, and it would come up to like a 120 something or a one.
Yep.
Niggas do not know. So, as I said, you see us here, don't feel like, you know what I mean? This is from the ground up. That's why when you're investing in us, and shameless plug, but like, seriously though, when you're investing in us, when you're investing in Look at Killa's beautiful merch and stuff, just know it's from real niggas, real threads, real cotton was picked, bro. Real cotton was picked from hand. Okay? So don't skip the process. But when you go through
the process too.
Respect the process.
Respect the process. Because I know that's what makes you want to like turn away and run. But like, just stick with it and respect that process. You'll be so much happier. The outcomes will out you in the greatest of ways.
And now, like, being more grown, because I still don't feel grown, but being more grown, I can look back at my mom and be like, "Nigga, you came to a whole country."
Yeah.
A whole nother country, ass out like that? Nah. Like, I was born here and they treat me like cheese.
A whole nother conversation.
We gonna do that one next week. I felt
Sure.
And I was like,
we can do that because Killa got her money from that commercial, so we can talk about, like, let's all tie that in.
So next week, Ting?
Yeah, next week, Ting. Let's do that.
We ready. So before we go, I want to close it out by by like this whole theory of like, maybe I should save it for next week. The land of beige people.
If you want to, we can do whatever you want. I already sent you my little clip. Did you watch it?
Yes. And like, it's on point. Like, what they say, you ain't saying that.
So whatever you wanted to Google.
You know what?
Whatever you wanted to. Let's
leave for next week, because I feel like it will be great.
A better tie-in.
Yeah.
But we can curate that, because that's a pretty strong message all around.
You know what I mean? I feel like I don't want to glaze over that. We're kind of like, Mark. So I don't want to glaze.
We're kind of being known for that. Like, that's kind of what we've been doing. It's kind of saying, hey, so this is that, pointing a little finger. So
to give you guys a precursor, it is basically just like the way the world is going and the facts that we know, and like, y'all need us. Me.
But also
melanin me.
But what she said. But also, we know the truth. Never did it, no, but I mean, right? Big Draco. Yeah, and that's why I'm just saying we can curate that beautifully. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, okay. We can talk that next week. So, Killa, you can let everyone know our sponsors.
Our sponsors for today are Icy Little Tings for the waist beads. We got Sant Lisi for the scrubs and butters, glowing skin, santlisi.com. We also have the merch, which you see right here, bigkilla.com. I love
the one you posted with Candy. I love that one. It's super pink. Like, Killa, I'm gonna need one of those, yo. Like, it looks.
Let me know. I have to make an order like today, so let me know and I'll get her done. Okay. I'm gonna shout out my girl Jungle Flower Energy for this move from my Aura Femme custom hoodie. She got her little emblem. This is, you are the pride of the ancestors. And I love these hoodies off the strength of, like, they align with Killa so hard. And like, yeah, that's my girl. So of course, like, we got the not twin, but we have the similar energy. But I just want to hail her up. for doing some really dope shit. She's actually the one that put me on to doing the acid washing. I wanted to tie dye, and she said, hey, maybe you should start with bleach. It's less messy, and like you might be able to catch a thing. So she put me on to that.
You've been killing it. I seen the one you posted with Candy. I was like, yo, that one's super fire.
Thank you.
That one. I need that one.
Thank you. That
was great. Yeah, like, ooh, so we're excited. I'm gonna look at my food. Kill's gonna eat her food.
I have a burger. Yo, the whole time I was looking at my little screen, and there was like the little dialogue box, and there was a burger in it, and I was trying to focus, and all I kept seeing was a little burger.
I'm like tasting the seasonings of this burger. I'm like, yo, but I'm trying not to be greedy. I'm like, we're trying to give you a full.
Trying to give you focused and like a third eye open, but really I'm just like, but I need to anchor this Tito's vodka from last night, and I need that burger
as well. Oh, and Killa, like I already see most of the pictures, but like I know you're just like kind of putting them out, so everyone's seeing them now. But like the one in your green, the lacy little things, which I know you're working on, and like oh my God, like good God Almighty, woman. I'm
gonna low key shout out my little creative collaborator for that one. Like we had our own
eyebrows. You can't.
Special kind of magic, right? So shout outs to the collaborator for those particular pics, because like that collaborator helped bring a different level of fire so that Killa could do something a little bit different and like
ankle. Oh man.
Yeah.
I know that girl. Like I know that woman. My bad.
I really wanted to like edit those pictures to look like a magazine, and it's like I was going through them this weekend, and I saw that pic, and I was just like, I don't care. I'm not wearing no makeup. I threw on lipstick. And I had to. No, I woke up and
don't tell people.
And my collaborator was like,
"You're gonna have me mad at you. Don't tell nobody that. You weren't wearing no makeup in that photo."
I just threw on lipstick and a wig because my collaborator was like, let's go shoot. And I was like, cool, let's do it. But that's the thing. I looked at that picture and I was just like, that's my simple harness. Those are my chokers. That's my belt. That's my fetish harness. This is me. Yo, this is all fucking me. And I was just like, yo, I'm happy to see this evolution. And now since we talked about the whole like moving out and like getting through that grid and getting through your process, I'm looking at this person and I'm just like, you're the person that you always wanted to be, that you're allowed to be. Like you told yourself you're allowed to be this person, and now you got to stand on a rock in a nature reserve and just kind of like embody that. And it was a little moment. So I didn't even bother like editing the shit out of it. I was just like, come take that. Like take the real oracle right there. Nah. So thank you so much. It was a little moment.
And that actually fits in perfect because like I just posted a selfie because this girl that I follow.
I've seen that with the lack of the filter.
Thank you. But like
Morphia, but you're sitting here with your caption and I'm just like, bitches that look like that don't need filters. So
don't do that shit.
Don't keep talking her shit about, but I understand the message where you're just like, there's love to be had in yourself, and you always have to remember that.
Like, you know, I don't feel that way about myself. Like, personally, you know, I struggle with that a lot.
I'm
just
gonna give you the dead air right now.
Like, thank you, and I'm working on like accepting like compliments stuff, but you know, that's like a huge struggle for me. Like, I'm always like, I don't know how to take photos. Like, I have to take like 1 million, and I only use like one. Like
everybody else, that's how it goes. You only need one. When you walk into any shoot, that's all you have to do. You only need one.
But even that one, like I even wanted to delete it, and then like niggas started commenting, and I was like, oh my God, because like I just struggle with that. You know, even yesterday I got cussed because I've been like I want to lose weight, and like person was really angry that I was saying I was fat. So I'm not supposed to be saying that no more. But like I am still working on my journey. I won't. But it's just so. I'm being real with y'all. That is something I really do work on. So with your photo, I didn't know you weren't wearing makeup. And I wanted to say like this girl, Dawn, she posted and she did a photo because she was like, you know what? She was talking about body dysmorphia. should we say that? You know what? We can also say
It is dysmorphia because it's in your head.
Yeah, because she's talking about, you know what? We can continue that next week, but like just a sense of like, you know, the filters. I always feel like what I see in the mirror, sometimes the camera doesn't really like get that, or like maybe I'm not using the proper lens, which I know like now, but like, you know, the oil, it takes out all the blemishes and stuff and just kind of like smooths you over, depending on which filters you like use. But like that also speaks to like body dysmorphia. And she posted this photo just like natural, like the one I did, and like it was just like, you know, you react to people's stories, and sometimes I think they feel like you're just reacting, but I let her know, like, thank you so much for posting this because I need to see this. Like, I'm definitely a filter girl, and like, you know, people always like, girl, you don't need it, but like,
I kind of like the fact that I look like I'm wearing some makeup when I'm not. I kind of like the zhuzh.
The zhuzh, right? Right? You know, let's definitely dive into that more next week. We could do a whole like body positivity and land of beige people. I had some space talk. Definitely just like what
like, you know what, next week might be heavy. We just brought space back because I had some views on that.
Yeah, man, we gotta talk about space life more. We really do. It's like realer than ever. Like it's realer than ever. We gotta talk more about space life for sure. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of random thoughts. So as well, we're gonna start asking you guys like what you want us to talk about. So I'll post that today or tomorrow to see like, you know, what niggas want us to talk about. But we truly thank you guys for all your feedback, your support, your listening. EFP fam, eat fruit pie.
And mind.
Your business.
Right? So like truly like thank you guys just for all your support. Like as you said, Killa and I, we're leading more on that transparency path in a way to just really, at the end of the day, we are one.
And that's what it begins and ends with.
Yeah.
Recognize.
So Killa, you end the show this week.
Say that again?
You end the show this week.
All right, well, EFP fam, thank you for coming through. Motherfuckers got salmon and burgers to eat. Sending blessings for your day. Find some substance for your life. Make sure you hit up that verses because I think we're gonna have a little clip on that. We might have to push on that.
Definitely.
We're getting litty. Good vibes. God bless. Godspeed.
What are you gonna do when that comes on?
Lose my nuts. Lose my nuts.
I feel like I'm just gonna want to call you and be like, that's the name for a reason, guys. Y'all need to know. This is heavy. Bringing it back to high school. So you young kids have your time. You had your Lollapalooza and all of them thing they're cute. Tonight I'll be at the old people party in my living room watching this Dipset versus the live.
Wrong section, baby.
What? Oh my god. Okay, before we go, who do you have having it? Locks, Dipset.
Can't do it. Right. Can't do it. Right. Too deep. Way too deep. So I told somebody I am going to simultaneously combust.
Yo, I'm just ready. I'm ready.
Stay ready, nigga.
I'm cheesed because I had the purple haze. Like I was like, yo, I have to put this to the side and save some for tonight. And then I was like, it was just too sick. Like
too nice. It was that's the thing about the purple. When the purple is right, the purple is right. It's like Afghan. If it's right, it's right.
And it wasn't there, of course. So
of course, because it was right.
I just have to wait till
you're laughing because there's a whole another fucking person in the situation why there's none.
Bro, like, yo, all you crush the whole thing just hurt.
Purple. Like, with the orange hairs?
No, this one was super purple. Like I was like, I myself I haven't seen that purple since like high school, fam. Like I was like, yo. When you crush it up, you're thinking, when you're crushing it up, you're thinking, oh, like, you know, when the edge of the backwood, when like it's kind of black because it's burnt, but it didn't like fall off, you're thinking that was what was on the tray. And it's like, no, that's just the tree. Like it was.
They're so rich.
And like you dealt with it. And at first, like, you know how I roll. So at first I'm like, softing. Like this isn't really, you know?
Right.
And then 2 2s, I wake up at like 2 in the morning and I'm like, whoa.
I love and hate those ones. I love and hate those ones. Those ones where you're like, it slaps you in the face and tells you to have some respect, but you're like, shit, it's actually good.
Well, you know me, like I'll smoke and then like you'll roll up again.
Yeah.
Not really
like
hard. Much time in between. So then when it fully kung pao you now, you're like,
how?
It's Jackie Chan me, fam. Jackie Chan me every time. I thought it was just, oh no, like no, every time. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving for my last one.
Yeah.
And it didn't last. So we got some guava cakes, we got some tangerine, we got some
I feel like guava cake sounds sexy.
Yeah, that one's super potent. It's super, it's super nice. I was supposed to come and smoke you some. My bad.
Okay. Next time.
The weekend just got super crazy. But we have the fashion show. Shout out to Moscato Place.
So excited.
So EFP will be there in the building.
100%.
That's like what, the 13th. These queens are doing a great job, so they have their fashion show coming up, so we'll be there. And yeah, I fully called Ashley customer like, yo, you know I'm wearing Moscato Pink to the show, fam, so I'm pulling up to your house to just like see whatever you got right away, because you need to dress me. Like, the fuck you think this is?
Tell Emerald to send me something. I'll send an ENT. Just tell her she can dress me. Tell her she can dress me. Tell her to send me something and I'll pay for it.
That's what I told her. I'm like, I really so I told her I'm not, because I know I don't want to be mean. I hate like when you have events or something going on and everyone's hitting you up the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I made sure like I hit her up like this weekend. So she should be getting my outfit together.
Nice. Because I like that when you go somewhere and like you tie it in, like you're just repping. It's a good show.
And also I'm a Sex in the City like diehard fan. And I don't know how deep you are in that, but like during the show when I forgot that huge fashion designer that died, and then Samantha and Charlotte and Carrie were going to the funeral, and she's like, oh, like Samantha showed up in like the guy's like season like 3 or whatever of his clothes, and like Charlotte, you know how Charlotte is, so she tried to all be like, oh, like that's tacky, like why are you doing this?
But no, and then she ended up feeling dry about it.
And like,
I remember that.
Was wearing his whole line, and I'm like, fam, like, I'm
someone all called her out on it, and she was just like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Right? So I'm like, yo, we're pulling up to Moscato Pink fashion show. I'm gonna be wearing fucking black on Moscato Pink. Period.
I'm gonna see if I can get on this bandwagon because it excites my life.
Yeah, like I'm excited, and like, we haven't done like nothing like this in a hot fucking minute. So yeah, we outside.
Yeah, we had touch road.
We outside.
We're touching road. EFP. We'll see you soon. Have a good week.